What is today? Today is another day.
Today is Tuesday, garbage day.
Tuesday, garbage day.
Garbage cans are out.
Yes, and so, most of our content is just going to be, fresh off the press and just, bring what we experience on a daily and
To the video.
record it and share it. Because, one thing I've learned is ordinary people have the power to do extraordinary things. So today, we were minding our own business and doing what we normally do, on one of our usual days, wake up, work out, go to work, plan. Tracy came to me and she sat down and she started to say that some fear is coming up, that she's scared of something. And I didn't really know where she was going with it. But then...
Yeah, basically I got visited by my friend Fear. Yesterday it started creeping up because this year is my birthday year. I'm celebrating the whole year because I am turning fabulous 50. So I've been focusing on having new experiences as a way of celebrating and just, living more fully. So I threw my hat in the ring for some permits to hike Half Dome, kind of half hoping it wouldn't happen because I've been told the permits are so hard to get. So I was like, probably won't get them, but let me just spend $10 and join the lottery. So anyway, long story short, I got tickets. And yesterday, all this stuff, my mind just started doing crazy loop-de-loops, coming up with all kinds of different stories about why maybe I shouldn't hike Half Dome. And
Well, before we go into that, what is Half Dome? Is it like...
I don't even know. It's a steep rock in Yosemite. I don't even want to look at the pictures because then I'll get freaked out even more.
But just to help people understand,
Look it up, Google it, Half Dome Yosemite.
Yeah, they might be thinking you about to trip over a ladybug or something.
No, it's a very steep rock in the middle of Yosemite. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, a bunch, and I didn't realize it at the time because, when we're feeling fear, our mind likes to kick in and start to come up with all kinds of rationalizations and stories, and so I was in that place yesterday and coming up with all these reasons why I shouldn't go, and didn't really recognize it as fear at first. But then I did. And so that was the conversation this morning, that I'm feeling some fear, feeling like maybe I shouldn't go, maybe it's a bad idea, maybe somebody will tumble down the rock and knock me off the side and I won't come back, and all this stuff.
Yeah. And yes. So I asked her, I was like, so babe, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of dying or falling? She was like, all of the above.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a very, I have a very interesting relationship with fear, and how it really makes me appreciate the process of taking action, even when fear is present. So when Tracy was saying that, this fear is coming up, I was like, oh wow, I really felt was getting my bag of popcorn and soda, because I wanted to witness, if she doesn't chicken out, there's always something on the other side of the rainbow. When it comes to fear, we don't really know what it is. We can conjure up stuff, but for her to share that she was in the middle of that process of where our brain takes over and we create all kind of shit that might be real or may not be real, but regardless, it's in our head. And I continue to learn that our brain doesn't know true or false. It only knows what we put in there. And so, yeah, this topic of fear is going to be something we cannot cover it on one episode at all. But this is more just planting the seed that fear is something that we've continued to deal with in our relationship and our individual experiences. And Tracy is getting ready to walk the plank.
Yeah, and it got flipped on me because I told our daughter yesterday that, you know, I wasn't telling anybody. 'Cause I was contemplating if I was going to pretend like I didn't get the permits. but so yesterday I fessed up and I told our daughter, and because part of the plan was for her to come, and she got all excited, and I told her, I was like, well, I'm not really sure I want to do this. Like, I kind of didn't think I was going to get the permits. I'm not really sure. It's kind of dangerous. I don't know. And she was like, what? What are you... Like, what are you talking about, Mama? You're tripping. You got half-dome permits. You don't get those easily. You gotta hike it. We gotta hike it. So it was interesting because when she was 13, she 13? Maybe 14. 13 going on 14. Her school, they went on a trip to Yosemite. And she called me really, really early one morning, and she was like, Mama, so I have a choice. I can either climb to Angel's Fall or something like that, or I can climb Half Dome. What should I do? And I was like, girl, go big or go home. You better climb Half Dome. She was like, okay. We got off the phone. Mind you, I don't even know what Half Dome is. So get off the phone. I'm feeling all proud of myself because I told her, YOLO, go big or go home. And then I was like, maybe I should look up what Half Dome is. So I started Googling. Yeah. Then the lump in my throat came, and my heart sank, and felt like I just sent my firstborn to her untimely death. So she was scared. She was scared, and she was a baby, but she walked through that fear, and she climbed Half Dome at 13, going on 14. So then to fast forward, and I'm 49 going on 50, talking about I got Half Dome permits and I'm not sure I want to do it. And then she flipped the script and told me, YOLO.
Well, and then the other part of that we talked about is, you know, sometimes we have to face our fears, and it's really not about us, right?
Yeah.
You know, like our daughter, we've been trying to get her to exercise for a year now. Not that she's lazy, it's just not a priority for her at all, right? But the mere thought of Half Dome, she signed up for some online course.
The very same day.
She's doing some kind of HIIT course. She's doing lunges and all kind of stuff. She's getting ready because mommy planted the seed, and here mommy's talking about her fear. But I don't think we could have like hypnotized her to exercise, right?
I mean, I had no idea, no way of knowing, and it was not my intention for her to use this as an opportunity to do something that she knows she needs to do for herself, but has been dragging ass on for a long time. So then I had that moment where I was like, whoa, okay, maybe this Half Dome thing, maybe it's not about me. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was about her and getting, you know, her kicking into the next gear of, you know, how to take better care for herself.
And I mean, about me too. because I mean, I on another episode we'll talk about some things I've done to face some of my fears, but for me it's such a intimate relationship that I have with fears. Hearing Tracy come to me and say, "Hey, I'm really feeling this." That's a whole nother language that I know is a part of the process, and I don't know, it's weird. Like, not that it's just attractive. I just feel like it's hard for people to be vulnerable, even in long-term relationships. And I know that process just brings a whole different level of intimacy and communication where we can speak freely about what's really spooking the shit out of us and it not turn into an argument. Our egos aren't a part of the conversation. So I was like inspired too, because I'm like, all right, if Tracy's getting ready to go to Half Dome, she's going to face some fears. I want to be fresh in that and make sure that I'm not getting punked by an army of ladybugs, for parading around. So my point is, it's contagious. It's contagious when it can go either way, though. Our fears can take over us, or when we're taking action to our fears, like Tracy's getting ready to do. It's got our daughter off the couch.
Yeah. Well, and to me, it's
Got
not,
me fired up.
and it's not really about climbing Half Dome. I mean, I guess that'll be cool. Have a little bit of bragging rights once I complete it. But it's really about the process of doing what's uncomfortable, and that's an ongoing conversation that we have, and that I'm building a personal relationship with that within myself, and the growth that happens, the things that are unlocked when you simply put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable. And it doesn't have to be something as dramatic as climbing Half Dome. I mean, for me this year, I've done things like taking a sculpting class when I didn't think I had any artistic ability whatsoever. Getting tattooed by my daughter. They're just little things that bring up some level of uncomfort, and having to work through that, and through that experience, just seeing different aspects of yourself, and having to pull out different things, and build different muscles. And so this Half Dome thing is just another way to do that, to do something that I've never done before, that I don't know if I'm capable of, that brings up some fear, and just see where it takes me. Mm-hmm. And knowing that, letting go of all expectations, knowing that just by taking that uncomfortable action, something new will be revealed inside of myself. And if I didn't take that action, then I would just stay the same. And I don't want to stay the same. I want to grow. I want to get better. And the way through that is, welcoming what is uncomfortable.
Yes, and you mentioned it. I was going to mention it earlier, but one thing that Tracy mentioned is she wasn't going to tell anybody. That's how we hide. If we're afraid to tell people, then that's an indicator that we need to put that shit on blast. Because I think about every time when I want to do something, I tell everybody. And Tracy be like, why are you putting yourself on blast? It's like there's like a superpower behind extra eyes. Ask, hey, Theodis, so what about Luda? Hey, Theodis, are you still doing this? Or hey, Theodis, has that date came up yet? Or hey, Theodis, how's your training? Like, I get these, it builds up the accountability. And then it does accelerate the fact that I'm not doing it for myself. Because here it is, people waiting to see if I'm going to fail or succeed. Like they're literally like create nail biter situations for people because I think everyone wants to step out their comfort zone and do their version of being uncomfortable. But it takes just some some person, a regular person, to give people permission to at least try something. So putting it on blast is, I won't say it's a guarantee, but it definitely supports getting something done. Look, it's a Jedi mind trick, getting something done that you may have a bunch of fear wrapped around it. So
Yeah, and I typically don't put myself out there. I prefer to hide in the background and just quietly do what I do, and then when it's done, then I might share it with people. But yeah, I tend to be more private than this one over here.
but remember, we talk about this all the time. Social media shows the finished product.
True.
So this is the time to
Show
put it
process.
out there. Yeah, the process, because we don't
The bumps.
we're gonna share a whole bunch of stuff here, and we don't got it all figured out. But I know that's something we want to emphasize. It's not.
The process.
So you can't come on. You can't post at the top of half dome like after you've already done it. No.
Well, no, I can, but
Yeah, no. So we got to do a video of you talking about how scared you are, and you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. So I'm
Look.
scared. I'm scared, y'all. I'm scared. I'm scared. And I did take a peek at some of those videos. I was like, no. So yeah, it's bringing up some stuff, but I'm gonna still do it. I'm gonna still do it because I want to grow. That's the bottom line. I don't want to stay the same, Tracy. I want to be ever expanding. So I recognize that we don't expand when we're in our comfort zone. That the expansion happens at that place where we have butterflies in our stomach and a lump in our throat and our eyes are getting misty. That's the gold.